guys, MizzeeOH of Man in Black Reviews here to do my obligatory once every 6 months vlog. It is a cold October day in California. I swear, it was in the 90s a couple of weeks ago, and now it is in the mid to lower 50s. I mean, what the hell is that? I'm Californian. I'm not used to that. It's cold. I don't know if you can see the weather, but it's windy. It's gonna rain any second. It's unpleasant. But I like it better than the heat. But I'm getting really off topic. This is not a vlog discussing the weather of California or the fact that I like the cold better than the heat, which I do, even if the cold is pretty unpleasant sometimes, but still. I am here to discuss the series premiere of a little show called American Horror Story, and this stuck out to me. You can probably guess why it stuck out to me. American Horror Story. I'm a horror fan. And even though, I mean, this isn't like an HBO show, and HBO shows are usually the ones that are definitely the highest quality, like Game of Thrones. Oh my god, Game of Thrones. Not True Blood anymore, that's... Ugh, True Blood is not scary. I'm pretty sure some people think True Blood is scary, but god, that show sucks now. But I keep getting off topic. I'm not good at vlogs, I really get off topic. American Horror Story on FX. I don't really watch that many FX shows. I know of some, like Sons of Anarchy, and I've just, it's not that I have anything against them, just not, there haven't really been many that have looked interesting enough to really watch, to watch, not watched. I'm mixing up my tenses. But I usually tend to go towards HBO and AMC shows. AMC has Breaking Bad. Oh my god. But I decided to give this a chance because if it really is a horror show, then I'm in. I love horror. So, I mean, I pretty much knew before I ever even watched it that it wasn't going to scare me. I don't want to sound like a horror snob, but not many people... not many shows and movies and such really scare me. I guess you could say I'm desensitized when it comes to horror because I have seen so much horror. I mean, the only recent horror that's actually, like, scared me is probably Insidious. That actually did have some scary moments, and Paranormal Activity 1 and 2. I say 1 and 2 because 3 hasn't come out yet, and it really... no, I'm not going over that. But I wanted to give American Horror Story a chance, and I am glad I did, because I liked that premiere a lot more than I thought I would. It was actually really good. It wasn't scary, but I can see that for someone who could get scared by stuff like that more than me, that they could very well be creeped out by it. I mean, I wasn't, but someone else easily could, and I take that for what it's worth. Again, not trying to sound like a snob, but truth be told, I didn't really know much of the plot of the show before I watched it. I mean, sometimes I kind of just look at previews of shows and go, oh, okay, looks cool. I don't really look at the info for it that terribly much. I think that's also because I kind of like to be surprised by things, and I'm glad I didn't. I actually thought this was going to be a collection of short stories, like a different story every week. I don't know who's yelling behind me. I think it was annoying teenagers. I don't like teenagers, even if I am a teenager, but that's beside the point. But what was I saying? Oh yes, I thought it was going to be a collection of short stories with a different story every week, but I am very wrong. It's actually centering on a family who moves into this house, and it's haunted with ghosts, and that's pretty much it. So there's this whole giant past to this house, people who seem to be alive but really they're dead, like this maid who at one point is a really, really old chick, or not really, really old. I mean, she wasn't like super 100 years old, but, you know, she was definitely older. And then she turns into like this really, really hot younger maid who like seduces the husband. But yeah, that's basically it. I mean, she's dead, you can tell. But anyway, I'm getting off topic again. I'm not good at vlogs. Why did I even decide to do this? I don't know. I like to ramble. But I did make a little page of notes just so I would remember. Let's see. Okay. One thing I want to go over here is that I guess I'll get on to the acting first. The acting was overall pretty good. There are a lot of familiar faces in this show. You know how sometimes you can watch a movie or a show or something, and you can go, wow, it's that guy, the guy from the movie that we just saw like a month ago, the action movie. He was the character that died. And there were a lot of that moments. Like, I recognized a lot of the people, even if I really don't know the real names of many of them at all. Pretty much the only real name I know of the entire bunch is Jessica Lange. She was the mother of the autistic girl in the show. The only reason I know that is because of my mom. I was watching it with my mom, so if it wasn't for that, then I would not know her name at all. But the acting was overall pretty good. There were some cases where it just stuck out as sort of wooden and very fake. Most notably with the two, I mean, I guess the husband and wife would be considered the main characters, even if the daughter is also a very major character too. But, yeah, the husband and wife, the people who played them, they had their moments of, like, okay, you guys, I know you're trying to be angry and such, but it's actually just coming across more as funny, so stop it. But, yeah, still though, it was never really terrible. It just wasn't astounding, at least that I saw. Not from anyone, really. But, except for maybe Jessica Lange. She was pretty good. Let's see. I have to wonder, though, with a show like this, the premise, other than the family moving into the house, it's haunted and such, this house, it's implied that it basically almost collects souls. Like, every family or every person that moves into the house, eventually they're gonna die. They're gonna get killed by the ghosts living there, and they're gonna become part of the house, and it's just gonna be this constant loop of death and murder. But, okay, with a show like this, I mean, it starts off really strongly, but you have to wonder how long they can go with that premise in that light. I mean, they can only live for so long if the whole point of this house is that the ghosts kill the inhabitants of it, and they collect them so that they can become part of the house. I mean, I guess they can go a few ways with this, but, I mean, one route they could go is maybe killing the family and then having the family become ghosts and then having more people move in. But how often can they actually do that before it just gets old? You need consistency from season to season. And I mean, any sane family who sees, because stuff is already happening in the first episode, obviously, and things are also obviously going to get much, much worse as the series progresses. So any sane family would move the hell out at, when they see monsters and ghosts that are, like, actually doing stuff. I mean, and by doing stuff, I don't mean, like, occasional knocks. I mean attacking and seducing the family members and all that, all that crap. But I don't see how they can have a premise of a show be this and have it really last a long time. Maybe they're not going for having a show that's gonna last forever. I mean, no show lasts forever, but some last quite a long time. Maybe they only want this show to last a couple of seasons, in which case it could work, but, I mean, I don't think that, well, why my camera went out of focus there? I don't know why they would go that route, and it just doesn't seem like they're going to go that route, so I don't really know how they're gonna take this really far, like multiple seasons. 1 or 2 seasons, 3 even, maybe I can see this premise work, but after that, it's gonna be, I'm curious as to see how it'll go. But, of course, that's pretty far in the future, so it's not a problem that they have to tackle right now, I guess. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, sort of thing. And that's fine. But, yeah, I do have to wonder, though, because this first episode, was really strong. I mean, I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. They're gonna have a lot to live up for in the second episode, because most people who enjoy the first episode of a series will watch the second episode, but if they find that it's really disappointing in comparison to the first episode, they may stop watching, like me. I only have a certain amount of time. A show has to be really quite good to hold my attention for more than a couple of episodes. And if it's not, like, if I like the first episode even and the second episode sucks, then I'll probably just, my attention will drift. My attention drifts a lot as it is, so I'm not gonna just keep watching a show usually out of habit. I mean, as it is, going back to True Blood, I'm probably gonna stop watching that next season because, damn. And Heroes, I stopped watching that too. I tried to stick with Heroes for a while, but could not do it. Anyway, there were a lot of awesome moments in this first episode, like the Kill Bill whistle. Oh my god, they used the Kill Bill whistle. That is freaking awesome, especially when they used it, when the kid was just walking down the hallway, and that sounds a lot more lame than it was in the show, but still, that was actually a really good usage of that song, and it's cool that it's actually been used now in something other than Kill Bill, because I love Kill Bill, and I love that whistle, so it should be used, you know, in something other than that movie, so that's pretty awesome. Also, the daughter and the crazy kid, I don't know the names of any of the characters so far. I am really bad at memorizing the names of characters in shows and movies. But the daughter and the crazy kid, and I'm sure you know who I'm talking about if you've seen the first episode from the description. Man, is anyone else reminded of Natural Born Killers? These guys are gonna go like on a rampage, killing spree, a la Natural Born Killers. I can totally see that. I think that's what maybe that's what they're leading up to, except for the daughter did sort of, you know, chase away the crazy kid, and he's much more inclined. I have to wonder if he's dead. I think there's a good chance that everyone is dead except for the main family, the daughter, the parents, and the dog. I think there's a really good chance that every single person they've interacted is dead, except for, like, the kids at the school, you know, the pack of mean girls and such. And I think the only one who may be alive is the autistic girl that we saw in the beginning and then throughout the entire show. I think it's possible, maybe she's, like, some sort of, I don't want to say guardian for the house, but maybe the ghosts are just leaving her alone because she is autistic and she respects the house, unlike the two kids in the beginning. Also, as a side note, I thought the crazy kid, when we saw him at first, was the one kid in the beginning with the green striped shirt, because he was wearing a green striped shirt, so they decided to dress those two the exact same, and they really, I don't know if they were trying to make you believe that he was the kid in the beginning, maybe, but if not, why couldn't you get a different type of shirt? That was the exact same shirt. I mean, in the beginning you had the two kids who were like twins or whatever, and one had a green striped shirt, and the other one had like, maybe he was Freddy Krueger as a kid because he had like Freddy Krueger's sweater, but in t-shirt form, but it was in 1978, so I don't know, who knows what people were thinking with fashion back then, I don't know, but, yeah. Also, the soundtrack. I loved the soundtrack. That was really good. Even the intro, like, they didn't go with some hip, cool-sounding theme song. They went with something that actually added to the creepy feel of the show, which I think is a really good method. I think that was the best thing they could have gone with. So, the entire soundtrack added to the atmosphere perfectly, and music really adds a lot to something. So, when you have that right, then, I mean, it goes a long way towards setting the mood. Also, have you noticed that, man, FX, they are pushing the envelope when it comes to adult content with this. I don't know if they're going to continue that. I have a feeling that they are, if only because they do have things like, you know, the kinky black leather sex guy and the maid who's like the epitome of sexy maid, and man, they had swearing, and I didn't realize on cable TV at a time where kids could watch that you could have the word shit and masturbation and nudity and multiple sex scenes. I didn't realize that was, like, okay now. I mean, I'm not a prude. It's not that I'm, like, complaining about it. I just didn't realize you could have that much on cable TV nowadays. I thought that was for HBO only. But, yeah, I think they are quite pushing the envelope with that, and I'm curious as to, I'm surprised more people haven't gotten upset about that. Like, oh my god, that's so terrible. How dare you have adult content on an adult show? Oh my god. But, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna pause probably because, like I said, I'm not used to vlogs. Let's see. But yeah. That's really about it. I mean, I enjoyed the first episode a lot. I'm absolutely going to watch the second one because it seems like they're going almost for a Shining type thing, except for, you know, on a smaller scale, in a house, and in show form, of course. But, you know, like, the house that slowly corrupts the main husband, the leader of the house, per se, to the point where eventually it becomes, like, a murder-suicide type thing. Excuse me, I hiccuped. But, where it eventually becomes a murder-suicide type thing. Like, we saw that, obviously, exact same thing in The Shining, and it seems like it's the same sort of thing in this one, too. But, I don't know, maybe they're not gonna go with completely ripping off The Shining. I really hope not, because it seems good enough so far that they could go with something a bit more original. At least I would hope so, but yeah, I mean, that's about it. I really enjoyed it. American Horror Story. Watch it, because, I mean, if you're the type of person who's scared easily, then you can very well be creeped out by it. I wasn't scared or creeped out at all, but, I mean, that's just kind of me. I'm desensitized to horror. I'm not a horror snob, but it takes a lot to scare me. But it had a good soundtrack. It was nice and edgy. It wasn't super light. And, I mean, decent acting. I mean, not terrible, not great, but decent. And a story that is good enough and edgy enough, like I said, that it will bring me back for at least the second episode. And I hope that the second episode lives up to this one, because it was really good. It was a really strong start to the series. And they're gonna have to make this second episode just as good, if not better, if they want to keep the audience they've already established just from the first episode. But, yeah, that's about it. I would definitely recommend, especially if you like horror, taking a look at this. It's American Horror Story on FX. I don't know if FX puts up episodes on their site after they come on. I honestly have no idea, because I've never really watched an FX show. I mean, I probably watched one in the past that I just can't remember, really. But, yeah, if they don't have it on the site, at least look for maybe a rerun of it, or just try to watch it somehow. But I would... More people yelling. But I would definitely recommend it. Let's see. What was yesterday? Yesterday was Wednesday. So it's Wednesdays at 10, I think. And don't hold me to that, because I could be wrong. I get my days mixed up sometimes. I'm weird like that. But yes, watch that. I recommend it. So, this is MizzeeOH of Man in Black Reviews giving me... MizzeeOH of Man in Black Reviews giving you my mini review of American Horror Story on FX. See ya.